event of a cyber attack or a breach, they would
Yeah.
potentially be liable to criminal, certainly civil charges on that basis.
Do you feel that the board of insurance SMEs pay close enough attention to threats of cyber breaches? And are they doing enough, especially now that they've maybe got that added element of responsibility involved in the whole process?
Yeah, I would say, insurance is all about risk, and I would say that probably the insurance sector is further ahead than many other industry sectors in terms of understanding the risk. There's an interesting debate at the moment about what level of responsibility do we put on board members around cyber. So there's discussions: do we actually bring in legislation as a country to mandate a boardroom director to have legal responsibility and accountability? So in the event of a cyber attack or a breach, they would potentially be liable to criminal, certainly civil charges on that basis.
Sure.
So there's some discussions, and I think, as with any forward-thinking nation, we always look to see what goes on an international perspective, and perhaps have a look at what's going on in the US first, and see how it may impact us in the UK. But I think, again, I go back to the point I've made earlier. One of the big things that boards can do in SMEs is just to make sure that you've got an incident response plan, to regularly update and review it, and to exercise it, and ensure that the lessons learned from those plans and the exercises are fed back into the business. That's the really important thing, because we can put a lot of effort into prevention. If we are unfortunate enough to suffer an incident, it's about how you get back up and running as quickly as possible, and regularly exercising that incident response plan is going to be the number one thing that's going to help you get back online.
Sure, it's not almost thinking if, it's thinking when, and how can I, minimize the damages as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's why I think the focus has shifted from cybersecurity now to more cyber resilience. Hence, we're a cyber resilience centre and not a cybersecurity centre. Security is just about those measures that you put in place. Resilience is about not just those measures, but also about how you get yourself back up and running. And with 55% of crime now cyber and fraud related, the likelihood of becoming a victim, unfortunately, it is a question, as you say, of when rather than if.
Yeah, yeah. And do you know of really any companies in the insurance sector who've maybe not had the warning or the information now that they are maybe liable, and they've found some trouble, or even those that have done the opposite and they have taken the proactive steps and they've seen success with that?
Yeah, I mean, I probably can't think of specific case studies, but what I would say
Sure.
when I engage with insurers, I'm really blown away by the way they want to work together. At the end of the day, these are often rival organisations, but there seems to be a real collaboration, and I guess that might be one of the reasons. They're obviously located generally around the same part of London, so there's a good networking sort of existence among them. But I think generally they're very good, and I would say that other industries can look at the insurance sector as a good benchmark of how they manage risk within their organisations, and hopefully feed that through to their customers as well.